Hi, welcome. Today we're here with Jose Yenque, actor on so many different episodes. Thank you and welcome for coming to our show.
Yeah, it's my pleasure, man.
Jose, I mean, you and I, we've been speaking, over the past week about an organization that you've been helping. But before we get to that, I want to talk about your background and as an actor, what made you get into acting. So first of all, what did you want to do when you were young?
I wanted to be a fireman. And somewhere along the line, it turned around. Oh, I got it. Okay, now flashback.
Okay.
I was 9 years old. My mom didn't leave me with a babysitter. She would take me to the theater. My mom's an actress, and she would take me to Intar Theater, and my brother and I would sit there. No, I think maybe about 7 or 8 years old, and we would watch classics like Fuente de Juna and Rosa de Papel, and all of these intense, Lope, Garcia Lorca plays. And we didn't understand it, but it was visual and it was beautiful to watch. And my brother and I would sit in the first row. And after that, something like was planted. That seed was planted inside of me, the acting bug, what we call. And from then on, I had the love for the theater. And when I turned 15, I started doing theater.
So you had that exposure in high school?
Earlier, yeah. I had the exposure when I was 7. Maybe.
Right, well, actually, because of your mother, but...
Yeah, something really interesting that happened to me, and I love sharing this with my teens and with my students, is when I was 15 years old, or 14 years old, I used to stutter. I used to stutter very badly, and I was pretty much closed up, an introvert. I didn't really want to talk too much, and for whatever reason, life. And when I was 15, my mom, she took my brother and I, we moved to Manhattan, and we ended up, on 43rd Street in Midtown. My mom threw me into an acting workshop for 6 months. Yeah, intense.
Wow.
Wait, but check this out. Imagine a terrified little 15-year-old.
Right, stuttering and read the line, right?
Oh, you're kidding? And then we had to do theater games. And if you're aware with theater games, it's where you do all sorts of exercises and fun. It's almost like going back to 5 years old.
Well, yeah, you could play and act out like animals and...
you're an elephant,
right.
And then you're a wall, and you're a tree. And
right. I found the wall one to be kind of difficult because I wanted to move. But
there's some people who can do the wall very good, and I was one of them. I was like, give me the wall. No, but you are the dancing, singing orangutan. I was like, oh man. But Manuel Yescas was my teacher back then, and a good friend of my mom's, and he saw something. And what ended up happening was, after the workshop, you couldn't shut me up. I stopped stuttering. My eyes opened up, and I was very outgoing after that. And yeah, you really couldn't shut me up.
Wow.
You still can't shut me up. No.
No, I tried, but no.
But see, this is what drives me, Aaron. Is I still remember what happened, and I still remember that how it turned my life around. So when it comes to me, it fuels what forces me to give back. It's that's the fuel. So that's what leads me to wanting to give back to the community, give back to the teens, and know that there are those little, what I would call my Joselito. There are a lot of little Joselitos out there that are very shy, that are what may be considered the nerd, and they're picked on, or they're just in this little world. And I know that the arts, it definitely has that magic. It's got that power. That, to touch.
I'm glad you brought that up because, not to talk about myself, but that you described me in elementary. I was always picked on. I was exactly the kind of, the odd one out.
Yeah.
Maybe still kind of. And when theater was not really introduced, but it was part of something I can take part in, I blossomed. And so that's true. The arts or drama can really take a person and just, take them to that next level.
So elementary is like 7?
Well,
8?
For me it was 5 to 8, and then I played Gaston in Beauty and the Beast in 8th grade, and all of a sudden everybody knew me.
Yeah.
So no one now picked on me, because now it's Gaston.
That is so cool because everyone's got that story. There are people who are not actors and like lawyers or maybe an accountant, and they'll go back and they'll say, hey, well, listen, in elementary I played Peter Pan, or I played the rock that Peter Pan sat on, in this one scene or whatever.
Yes.
And so everyone was exposed to it, but then something happens in high school where it's not that focused on. It's like, what are you going to be? So and now that everyone's maturing so much faster, so I think that they should still, when I hear stuff like they're taking arts out of the schools, it's like, because
yes,
watch it. You know, I'm like, hey, you know, so one of the reasons that I came on board with Telesofa, which is the nonprofit that uses the arts, you know, to empower these youth, is because if they're gonna keep taking it out, then I'm gonna do anything in my power to put it back in. And so that's what I'm about. It's about empowering the youth. We are the living, walking witnesses. Now, witnesses? How do you say it? No, not witnesses. Yeah, we were witnesses, but we are the product.
We are the product of
I
what
witness
we're-
you, you witness me. I don't
Right,
know.
right.
Well, you know, we are the product of what could possibly happen.
we're living it.
Living
it.
proof.
You're right. You're more of the proof than I am right now. I mean, you know, and
No,
since you
you're
already
proof
went,
too.
well, and I appreciate that. But since you went on to, I mean, what was your first official acting role?
Oh, let me see. That was I was in New York. I was just doing plays, and I had done. Now you're talking about theater or TV.
I guess your first. Well, what was your? Yeah, I guess you got into it at 15. But what was your first maybe TV role then?
Well, the first one was like in 1997, and I got to play some guy named Rico.
Rico?
Yeah, no offense to any of the Ricos out there, because
But it usually sounds like Rico Suave.
like Suave.
Right.
And though I kind of that was me back then, but I mean, but I got cast as in this, and it was NYPD Blue back when Jimmy Smith was on it.
Oh
Dennis
wow!
Franz,
Right.
and we shot a scene out there, and then they flew me out to Hollywood, and I was shooting on the Fox lot, and it was overwhelming for me. I went back to New York, waited about a year, and then I packed up and I came back. I came out here. So, and my first gig here was was an episode of the X-Files, and it was the Chupacabra episode.
I'm sure I've seen it.
It was
Right.
it was like a novela. It was half English, half Spanish.
Uh-huh.
You know, I got to do my Spanish in there, and it was trippy because I had just got here, and I was like, okay, Spanish, all right. We have.
Oh
to,
wait, so are you at this point you're already bilingual or?
Yeah, no. Well, see, the thing is, I mean, I was born bilingual because I was born in the United States.
Okay.
And then my grandmother, my mom was always working in the theater, and so my grandmother spoke to me in Spanish, and
So she held on to that Spanish part.
Yeah,
Right.
And if you
Okay.
notice, I have a little bit of a Spanish accent for many reasons, and this is a funny one, or maybe funny for someone, but you know, I got out here 10 years ago, 11 years now, and they were asking me to play all these characters and to talk with a thick Spanish accent, and so I had to learn, and I would ask around, and I would go to people talk and record, and
Right.
and so. Every time when I book something, most of the time it's me talking like this, and everything have to be precisely with a slightly bit of an accent. And so now, sometimes like when I'm tired,
So now it gets into your
sneaks
real.
in. I start talking like this.
Every now and then I start talking Scottish, but you know. No.
Oh, dude. And I was just, you know, I asked somebody something, and all of a sudden something about the stairs. You know, oh, yes, downstairs. I said, and I heard stairs, and I'm like, stairs. Well, but you know what? I love accents because you know, this is a short little message to everyone out there who's trying to lose their Spanish accent or any kind of accent. But the Spanish accent, it's beautiful.
Yes.
It's beautiful. It's almost like you have a pot, like think of the language English as like a pot of beans. And then the accent is just a sazon. It's like the garlic, it's the pepper.